My fiance kept asking for polyamory over 100 times. After I said yes, she regretted it because I slept with her sibling. Be me, 37, living in suburban Phoenix. Work as a software architect for a big tech company. Have a beautiful wife named Isabella, married for 14 years. 2 amazing kids, Andrew and Charlotte. Life seems perfect from the outside. Nothing special about that Wednesday evening. Just got back from work, expecting the usual routine. Smell of dinner cooking, sound of TV news in background, maybe a kiss from Isabella. Instead, find her at the dining table. Her laptop closed in front of her. Something's off about her expression. Not the warm welcome I'm used to. More serious, determined. My gut tells me something's wrong. Hang my coat on the rack. Hey, Isabella, everything okay? She looks at me with this weird expression. Matthew, can we talk? Her voice is steady but different, missing that usual warmth. Feel my chest tighten instantly. Those words never mean anything good. Sure, I say, trying to stay calm. Take a seat across from her. What's on your mind? She takes a deep breath, folds her hands on the table, like she's practiced this moment. I want to be honest about something. Need you to listen before reacting. My stomach feels like it's in knots. Can tell this isn't about normal stuff. Not about kids' grades or house repairs. All right, I say slowly. I'm listening. She pauses for a moment, then drops the bomb. I've been seeing someone. My brain short circuits. Seeing someone, as in cheating, can't keep the disbelief out of my voice. What do you mean seeing someone? She looks straight at me, calm but pleading. I mean, I've been involved with someone at work. His name is Robert. It started a few months ago. The name means nothing to me, but it hits like a truck. My wife of 14 years, just sitting here, admitting to cheating. No tears, no excuses, just straight facts. Feel my jaw clench, anger and hurt bubbling up. You've been cheating on me? Are you serious right now, Isabella? It's not like that, she says quickly. Her tone is too controlled. It's not about you, Matthew. It's about us. About what's been missing. Missing? I stand up abruptly. You think sleeping with some guy named Robert is the solution to our problems? She flinches but holds my gaze. I'm not saying it was right. I want us to talk about this. To figure out a way forward. I laugh bitterly, start pacing around the room. Figure out a way forward? You're kidding, right? What do you expect me to say to this? Isabella stands up, her voice steady but more insistent. Matthew, listen to me. I don't want to lose you. I love you. But I think we need to reimagine what our marriage looks like. Give each other space to explore. Safely, openly. Space? Turn to face her. Can't hide the disbelief in my voice. You mean you want to keep Robert in your life? And still stay married to me? I'm not asking for anything one-sided, she says, steps closer to me. This isn't about replacing you, Matthew. It's about finding a way for both of us to feel fulfilled. I stare at her. Can't believe what I'm hearing. You're asking for an open marriage? Yes, she admits, her voice quiet but firm. I think it's the only way we can save us. It's better than lying, better than sneaking around. We set boundaries, we agree on rules, and we keep our family intact. Most surreal moment of my life. My wife, the woman I trusted more than anyone, standing here, proposing something I never thought I'd hear. My mind spins with anger, confusion, pain. No, this is just the beginning of a conversation that would change everything. Everything I thought I knew about love, about loyalty, about the woman I pledged my life to. House feels eerily quiet after her words. Stand there, trying to process it all. But nothing makes sense. Open marriage? Isabella, my wife? These ideas don't fit together. Yet here they are, crashing into my reality. I can't believe this, I mutter. Keep pacing around the room. I can't believe you're even suggesting it. Isabella stays calm, watching me with determination, and something else in her eyes. Maybe hope. It's infuriating. Matthew, please, she says softly. Sit down. Let's talk about this. I don't need to sit down, I snap. Run my hand through my hair. What I need is to understand how we went from happily married to whatever this is. Isabella hesitates, pulls out a chair, sits down, folds her hands on the table again. It didn't happen overnight, she admits. You've been so busy with work, the kids, everything. And I felt invisible. Invisible? I shoot back. Isabella, I've been working to keep this house running, to provide for our family. If you felt invisible, why not talk to me? Why not tell me instead of... My voice breaks. Instead of going to him, she winces, but doesn't look away. I know I should have said something sooner. I should have handled this differently. But Robert, he didn't make me feel invisible. He made me feel seen, clench my fist, try to swallow the bile rising in my throat. And what about me? Did you think about what this would do to me? To the kids? Of course I did, she says. Her voice cracks for the first time. But Matthew, we're not the same people we were. When we got married, we've grown, changed. And somewhere along the way, we stopped growing together. Her words hit hard. Because deep down, know there's truth to them. Our marriage had become routine. A comfortable, predictable rhythm. Not much room for passion or excitement. But still, how could this be the answer? Slump into the chair across from her. Anger temporarily deflated. So what happens now? You get your space, and I just what? Sit here and wait for you. To come home from your dates with Robert? No, she says quickly. Leans forward urgently. It's not about me just doing whatever I want. It's about us redefining our relationship. You could explore too. We could set rules, boundaries. It doesn't have to mean the end of us. I laugh bitterly. Rules, boundaries? Do you even hear yourself, Isabella? You've already crossed the biggest boundary there is. She looks down at her hands, her composure finally cracking. I know, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to lose you, Matthew. I love you. I just think we need more than what we've been giving each other. Silence stretches between us, heavy and suffocating. My mind reels with questions. Questions I can't bring myself to ask. Emotions I can't even name. The betrayal stings like a fresh wound. But so does the possibility that maybe she's right. Maybe we had grown apart. What about Robert? I finally ask. Keep my voice low. Is he part of this plan of yours? Isabella hesitates, then nods slowly. Yes, for now. But this isn't just about him, Matthew. It's about us finding a way to be happy again. I shake my head. Can't even look at her anymore. I don't know if I can do this, Isabella. I don't know if I can look at you the same way again. She reaches across the table. Her hand hovers near mine. I'm not asking for an answer right now. Just think about it. Please, for us, for Andrew and Charlotte. Her hand touches mine. For a brief moment, feel the warmth of the woman I'd loved for nearly 14 years, but now that warmth feels different, tinged with something else, something I can't quite place. It isn't hope. It isn't trust. It's uncertainty. Think about it, she repeats softly. Then she stands, leaves the room, leaving me alone, with the impossible weight of her words. Sit there for what feels like hours, staring at the empty chair. Where she'd been, my mind races with images of Isabella and Robert, of the life we'd built together, of a future that now feels painfully unclear. This isn't just about our marriage anymore. It's about who I want to be, about the kind of man and father I need to become, and as much as I hate to admit it, part of me is terrified of what I might discover. Next morning comes too quickly. Barely slept at all. Spent the night tossing and turning. Isabella's words keep playing in my head, like a broken record. Open marriage, space, boundaries. None of it makes sense. She wants to save us by breaking us apart. At least that's how it feels. When I finally get out of bed, house is quiet. Isabella already left for work. Find a note on the kitchen counter. Her neat, practiced handwriting. Matthew, I know this isn't easy, but I hope you'll take the day to think about what we talked about. Let's talk tonight. Please, love, Isabella. The word love at the end hits harder than it should. How can she claim to love me and still do this? The anger from last night creeps back, but this time it's mixed with something else. Doubt. Can't stay in the house. The need air, space, something to clear my head. Grab my keys, drive aimlessly. Phoenix suburbs blur past, turn down street after street, end up at Valley Park, near our old apartment, the one we lived in before the kids. Used to spend hours here, lying on the grass, dreaming about the life we'd build. Feels like another lifetime now. Sit on a bench staring at the lake. Phone buzzes in my pocket, jolts me out of my thoughts. It's Cameron, my oldest friend, only person I feel like I can call right now. Hit answer. Hey man, Cameron says. What's up? You sound off. Hesitate for a moment. Where do you even start with something like this? Isabella, she's cheating on me. Words taste bitter in my mouth. Cameron goes silent for a moment. Jesus, Matthew, are you sure? She admitted it. Some guy at work. Robert, I spit his name like poison. And that's not even the worst part. There's worse, he asks, disbelief heavy in his voice. She wants to open the marriage. Thinks it'll save us or something. Cameron lets out a low whistle. Wow, that's not what I was expecting you to say. Yeah, join the club. Lean back on the bench. Stare at the sky. What the hell do I do, man? I can't even wrap my head around this. Cameron sighs. Look, I'm not going to pretend. I know what you're going through. But if you want my advice, don't make any decisions right now. You're pissed, and for good reason. But don't let her back you into a corner. Take your time. Now figure out what you want. What I want is for this not to be happening. Say it bitterly. I get that, he says. But you can't change what's already done. You got to think about what's next. Whether that means fixing things or walking away. Fixing things, walking away. Both options feel impossible. I'll think about it, I mutter. Thanks, Cameron. Anytime, man. Call me if you need to vent. Hang up. Sit there for a while longer. Watch ducks glide across the water. Cameron is right. Need to figure out what I want. But how can I do that when everything I thought I knew about my marriage is suddenly in question? When I get home, Isabella is already there, sitting at the dining table, like she had been last night. She looks up as I walk in, expression cautious. Hey, she says softly. How was your day? Don't, I say sharply. Drop my keys on the counter. Don't act like everything's normal. She flinches but nods. Okay, let's talk. I sit down across from her, same place I'd been last night. I've been thinking, I say, and I need answers. Isabella, real ones. No sugarcoating. Okay, she says softly. Ask me anything. Why, I demand. Why Robert? She hesitates, eyes dropping to the table. He noticed me, she says finally. He paid attention in a way I hadn't felt in years. It wasn't a plan, Matthew. It just happened. And what about me? I shoot back. You didn't think to tell me you felt that way? To try to fix things before jumping into bed with someone else? I did think about it, she says, but I didn't know how to say it. And by the time I figured it out, it was too late. I'd already started something with him. The words cut deep. Force myself to stay calm. So what now? You want to keep seeing him? While I what? Find someone for myself? I don't want to lose you, Matthew, she says, her voice breaking. That's all I know for sure. The rest we can figure out together. Her tears come then, but they don't soften the pain in my chest. This isn't something we can fix with tears or promises. This is a fracture, and I have no idea if it can ever heal. The silence after her tears feels endless. Want to speak, to shout, to say anything. That could make sense of this nightmare, but the words won't come. Isabella sits across from me, wiping her eyes with her sweater sleeve. Her vulnerability almost makes me pity her. Almost, you've broken us, Isabella, I say finally, my voice quiet but sharp. Do you get that? There's no version of this. Where things go back to how they were, she nods, gaze fixed on the table. I know, Matthew, but I don't want to lose what we still have. That's why I'm suggesting this. You keep saying that, I snap, anger bubbling back to surface. But do you hear yourself? You're asking me to share you with someone else. And how the hell does that save anything? Her lips tighten. For the first time, her calm demeanor falters. Because it's better than losing everything. Look, Matthew, I know this isn't what you want. It's not what I wanted either. But we're here. We've grown apart. And this is the only way I can think of. To give us both what we need. Without blowing up our family? Blowing up our family? I repeat bitterly. And what do you call this? Do you really think Andrew and Charlotte won't figure it out? If we do this, you think they won't see through the cracks? She flinches, but holds her ground. We can make it work. We can be honest with each other. That set boundaries. Make it clear that our marriage, our family is still the priority. Other couples have done it, Matthew. It's not impossible. Her words hang in the air. A twisted mix of desperation and determination. Lean back in my chair, rub my temples, as the weight of her proposition settles over me. So what, Isabella? I ask finally, my voice hollow. You get to keep seeing Robert? And I'm supposed to just be okay with that? And if I decide I want to explore too, you're fine with that? Her jaw tightens. If that's what you need, then yes, I'd be okay with it. Study her face carefully, looking for any sign. This is a game, some way to absolve her guilt. But she looks serious, too serious. You've already thought this through, haven't you? I say. You've been planning this. Her silence is answer enough. Unbelievable, I mutter. Stand up and pace the room. You don't just get to burn down our marriage and hand me the ashes like it's some kind of gift. Isabella, I'm not burning it down, she says firmly. I'm trying to rebuild it, to rebuild us. I know I messed up, Matthew. I know I betrayed you. But I don't want to lose you. I'm asking you to try. That's all. Stop pacing. Turn to face her. You think you can make this clean? That you can set some rules. Put it in a neat little box, and it'll be fine? But it won't, Isabella. This will change everything. I know, she says, her voice breaking again. But I'm willing to take that risk. Because I still love you, Matthew. I still believe in us. Stare at her. Try to find the woman I married, in this stranger sitting before me. She's there somewhere, buried under layers of betrayal and desperation. But can I still love her? Can I even begin to accept what she's asking? I need time, I say finally. Words feel heavy in my chest. She nods slowly. Take all the time you need. Just don't shut me out completely. Okay? Don't answer. Instead, walk upstairs. Close the door to our bedroom. Lock it behind me. Room feels cold, suffocating. On her nightstand, a framed photo from our honeymoon mocks me with its frozen happiness. Sit on the edge of the bed, head in my hands. Questions race through my mind. Could I forgive her? Could I live with what she's asking? And more importantly, who am I if I can't? Next day, wake up to muffled laughter, coming from downstairs. Andrew and Charlotte watching cartoons. In the living room. Their voices carefree, full of energy. For a brief moment, feel envious of them. To them, everything is still normal. Mom and Dad are still the same. Their world still intact. Stay in bed longer than I should, staring at the ceiling, replaying the events of the last 2 days. Isabella's betrayal, her insane proposition, the complete upheaval of everything I thought I knew. It all feels surreal, like I'm trapped in someone else's life. Eventually, smell of coffee drags me out. Shuffle downstairs. Find Isabella in the kitchen, pouring herself a cup. She's wearing her usual weekend clothes, jeans and a loose sweater, but something about her seems different, more careful, like she's measuring every movement, trying not to set me off. Morning, she says softly. Glances at me as I walk in. Don't respond. Just grab a mug. Pour my own coffee. Silence between us. Loud enough to drown out. Kids' TV show in the next room. I was thinking we could go to the park later. Isabella ventures, her tone cautious. The kids have been cooped up all week. I can take them, I say flatly. Not looking at her. Her shoulders sag slightly. But she nods. Okay, that's fine. Leave kitchen without another word. Sit in living room with Andrew and Charlotte. They greet me with grins, completely unaware of the storm brewing between parents. Morning, Dad, Charlotte says. Are we doing pancakes today? Not today, sweetheart, I reply. Force a smile. How about we head to the park instead? They both cheer, already running off to get shoes. Lean back on couch. Sip my coffee. Wonder how much longer I can keep up this charade. Later that afternoon, kids playing on the swings, sitting on a bench, scrolling through news articles, not really reading any of them. Mine keeps drifting back to Isabella's proposition every time I think about it. Feel like punching something. Hey, Matthew. Look up to see Vanessa, one of the moms from Andrew's soccer team, walking toward me with warm smile, carrying a thermos, her toddler waddling toward sandbox. Vanessa, I say, nods slightly. How's it going? Oh, busy as always. She sits down next to me, unscrews thermos lid. Coffee? No thanks, I say. She sips from her thermos, glances at kids on swings. Andrew looks like he's having fun. Yeah, I say. Watch my son laugh as Charlotte tries to push him higher. Vanessa looks at me more closely. Her brow furrows slightly. You okay? You seem distracted. I hesitate, urge to unload everything, bubbling to surface. But Vanessa isn't a close friend, just another parent from the team. Telling her feels inappropriate. And yet, idea of talking to someone not directly involved is tempting. Just some family stuff, I say vaguely. She nods sympathetically. Yeah, I get it. Marriage is hard sometimes. Her casual comment catches me off guard. Look at her. Really look at her for first-time notice. How pretty she is. Not in an over-the-top way, but in that natural, effortless kind. I didn't mean to pry, Vanessa says, standing up as her toddler comes back. But if you ever want to talk, as a friend, I'm around. Thanks, I say. Force a smile, watch them walk away, her little one clutching her hand. Watch them for a moment. Mind swirling. Could I ever do what Isabella's asking? Could I even entertain the idea of stepping outside our marriage, of pursuing something with someone like Vanessa, or anyone for that matter? Thought makes my stomach churn. But there's also a strange flicker of curiosity as kids run back toward me, cheeks flushed from cool air. Push the thought aside. For now, focus has to be on them. I'm keeping things normal, for their sake. But deep down, no. Conversation with Isabella isn't over. It's only beginning. That night, air between Isabella and me, thick with unspoken tension. Kids are in bed. House quiet, except for faint hum of refrigerator. Sit in living room, glass of whiskey in hand, staring at nothing in particular. Thoughts are tangled mess, shifting between anger, confusion, and nagging curiosity about how we'd gotten here. Isabella emerges from hallway, her steps tentative. She's wearing worn sweater. Remember buying it for her years ago, back when everything felt right between us. Almost like she's trying to evoke sense of nostalgia, way to soften me. Can I sit? She asks softly, gestures to chair across from me. Don't look at her. It's your house too, I say flatly. Sip my drink. She sits down, folds hands in her lap. For a long moment, neither of us speaks. Then she breaks silence. I know this is hard for you, she says. Hard? I bark a bitter laugh. Isabella, you cheated on me. You're asking me to open our marriage, so you can keep seeing the guy. Hard doesn't even begin to cover it. She winces, but doesn't back down. I'm not asking you to just accept this. Without question, Matthew. I'm asking you to consider it, to think about what it could mean. For us. For keeping our family together. Slam my glass down on coffee table. Sound sharp and angry. Stop saying this is about the family. You didn't give a damn about the family. When you started seeing Robert behind my back, her eyes fill with tears. But I'm not moved. Not this time. You're right, she says, voice trembling. I made a mistake. A terrible one. But I'm trying to fix it. The only way I know how? By rewriting the rules of our marriage, I shoot back. Do you even hear how insane that sounds? She looks at me, expression resolute despite tears on her cheeks. What do you want me to do, Matthew? Beg for forgiveness? Pretend I can go back in time and undo what happened? I can't, and neither can you. All we can do is figure out where to go from here. And where is that, Isabella? I demand. Because I sure as hell don't see a path forward in any of this. She hesitates, then leans forward, voice quieter but no less firm. You said you wanted answers, so ask me whatever you need to know. I'll tell you. The invitation hangs in the air, like a challenge. Down the rest of my whiskey. Set glass aside. Lean back in chair. Fine, I say. Why? What did he give you that I couldn't? Isabella takes deep breath, her hands tightening in her lap. It wasn't about him being better than you, Matthew. It was, he paid attention. He made me feel wanted. In a way I hadn't felt in years. Her words sting, but force myself to press on. And you couldn't just talk to me about that? I should have, she admits. But I was scared. It's scared you wouldn't understand, or worse, that you'd agree, but nothing would change. And then Robert, he was there. It wasn't planned, Matthew. It just happened. That's the thing, Isabella, I say, my voice rising. It didn't just happen. You made a choice to betray me, to betray our marriage, and now you're sitting here, asking me to just share you, to accept this as the new normal. I'm not asking you to be okay with it overnight, she says, but I'm asking you to try, for us, for everything we've built together. Shake my head, stand up, start pacing the room. You keep saying us, but I don't even know what that means anymore. She stands too, her voice growing firmer. It means I still love you, Matthew, and I believe we can make this work. If we're willing to try, turn to face her. Raw emotion in her eyes catches me off guard. For brief moment, see glimmer of the woman I'd fallen in love with all those years ago. But now that love is buried, under layers of betrayal and doubt, I need more time, I say finally. Her shoulders sag, but she nods. Take all the time you need. And just don't shut me out completely. Don't answer. Instead, walk past her, head upstairs to guest room. As I lay on unfamiliar bed, staring at ceiling, one thought keeps circling in my mind. Is this marriage even worth saving? Following week becomes slow descent into madness. Isabella and I fall into strange limbo, avoid the subject altogether, while pretending for kids that everything is normal, go through motions, dinners, carpools, bedtime routines. But every glance between us feels like loaded weapon, every shared space, heavy with unspoken words. Sleep in guest room most nights, tell her I'm working late, don't want to disturb her, not entirely a lie. Do stay up late, though not working. Spend those hours sitting in dark, nursing drinks, scrolling through articles about open marriages, about infidelity, about relationships gone wrong. None of it gives me answers. I'm looking for... On Thursday, Cameron calls again. How's it going? He asks, voice cautious. Terrible, I admit. Isabella is trying to act like things are fine, but nothing's fine. She keeps giving me space, but I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with it. Have you talked to her again? Not really, I say. What's the point? Every time I look at her, all I can think about is him. Cameron sighs. I get it. But you can't stay in this holding pattern forever. Sooner or later, you're going to have to decide what you want, what I wanted. It felt impossible to define. Wanted the life we had before, the one where Isabella was mine, and mine alone. But that life was gone. No amount of wishing could bring it back. I'll figure it out, I mutter, though words feel hollow. Even as I say them, weekend brings no relief. On Saturday, Isabella suggests we go out as a family. Reluctantly agree. Figure kids deserve something normal, for once. End up at aquarium downtown, walking through exhibits. Like we're still perfect suburban family. Andrew and Charlotte run ahead, press faces to glass, point out exotic fish. Isabella stays close to me, her hand occasionally brushing mine. Each accidental touch sends jolt through me, confusing mix of anger, longing, and resentment. At one point she leans in, whispers in my ear, "Thank you for doing this." It means a lot to them. Nod stiffly. Can't bring myself to respond. Later, as we're leaving, pass by small cafes. Isabella suggests getting coffee. Before I can think of excuse, kids beg for pastries. Reluctantly follow them inside. Sit at table while Isabella orders. Watch her at the counter. Sudden thought strikes me. I'm not just angry, I'm jealous. Jealous that she'd shared parts of herself with someone else. Parts I used to believe were mine alone. It wasn't just physical betrayal. It was emotional one too. When she comes back with drinks, she hesitates before sitting down, as if waiting for my permission. Small gesture, but it speaks volumes. After kids devour their pastries, run off to look at fountain outside, finally break the silence. "Isabella," I say, voice low but firm. She looks up, startled. "Yes?" "I've been thinking about what you said." Her eyes widen slightly, mix of hope and caution. Lean forward, clasp my hands together. If we do this, if I even consider doing this, there have to be rules. Clear rules. And I mean it, Isabella. If you cross even one of them, we're done. Her breath hitches. She nods quickly. Of course. Anything you need. Just tell me, Matthew. Take deep breath. Hate myself for even entertaining idea, but unable to see another way forward. First, I say, he's not allowed in this house. Ever. I don't care if kids are gone. Or I'm at work. This place is off limits. Agreed, she says immediately. Second, I continue, you tell me everything. No sneaking around. No surprises. If you're seeing him, I want to know when, where, how long, everything. Okay, she says, voice trembling. And third, I say, meet her eyes directly. If I decide to see someone else, you don't get to question it. You don't get to interfere. If this is what you want, Isabella, then it goes both ways. She hesitates, lips parting as if to argue, but then she nods. I understand, lean back in my chair, feel strange mixture of relief, guilt, and dread. Still don't know if I can go through with this. if I can live with sharing her. But for now, it's a start. A deeply flawed, messy start. Days that follow feel like walking tightrope over canyon. Isabella and I agreed to rules, but tension between us hasn't eased. If anything, it's intensified. Every glance, every conversation carries undercurrent of uncertainty, as if we're both waiting for other to shatter the fragile balance we've created. On Wednesday evening, she sits me down at dining table. After kids have gone to bed, she looks nervous, hands fiddling with edge of sweater. I'm seeing him tomorrow, she says quietly. After work. Words hit like fist to gut, even though I'd been expecting them. This was the arrangement, the rules I'd agreed to. Still, hearing her say it out loud makes it real, in a way that feels unbearable. Where? I ask. Voice colder than intended. Just dinner, she says quickly. At that Italian place downtown? Ristorante Milano. I'll be home by 9. Stare at her, searching for something. Remorse. Hesitation, anything that might make me believe. She wasn't as eager for this as it seemed, but all I see is determination and hint of nervousness. Not guilt, not regret. Fine, I say, standing abruptly. Enjoy your dinner. Matthew, she starts, but I cut her off. I don't want to talk about it, Isabella. My voice firm, final. You've made your choice. Now I have to figure out how to live with it. Next day, come home from work. House empty. Isabella's car gone. Kids at Charlotte's friend's house for sleepover. Silence is oppressive. Every room feeling colder. More alien than it should. Can't sit still. Pour myself a drink. Pace living room. Glance at clock every few minutes. 8:30. She'd said she'd be home by 9 boy. Finish my drink. Grab another, sit down, stare at blank TV screen. Mind keeps conjuring images of her and Robert sitting at candlelit table, laughing, sharing wine, maybe holding hands, try to push thoughts away. But they cling to me like second skin. At 8:55, sound of her car pulling into driveway sends jolt through me. Sit up straighter, heart pounding, as front door opens, and Isabella steps inside. She hesitates when she sees me, her coat still draped over arm. You're still up, she says, voice tentative. Of course I'm still up, I say, tone sharper than intended. How was dinner? It was fine, she says, setting purse on counter. We just talked. That's all. Laugh bitterly. Shake my head. And what exactly do you talk about? With the guy you're sleeping with? Matthew, please, she says, voice pleading. Don't do this. No, Isabella, I snap, standing and walking toward her. You don't get to tell me how to feel about this. You wanted this arrangement, so now you get to deal with the fallout. She stares at me, eyes wide and glistening. I don't want to fight, Matthew. I just want us to try to make this work. Make this work, I repeat, laughing bitterly. How, Isabella? By pretending everything's fine, while you go play house with Robert. Her face crumples. For a moment thinks she's going to cry. Instead, she takes deep breath. Composing herself, I told you everything, Matthew. I came home on time. I followed the rules. What more do you want from me? I want my wife back, I say, voice breaking, the one who loved me enough to put us first. I do love you, she says, stepping closer. That's why I'm doing this. Because I believe we can find our way back to each other. Stare at her, searching her face for any sign she truly means it. But truth is, I don't know if I can ever trust her again. I need space, I say finally, turning away. Don't push me, Isabella. Not tonight. She nods silently, retreating to bedroom, stay in living room, nursing my drink, trying to drown out images of her and Robert. That won't stop playing in my head. Next morning, wake up on couch, head pounding, heart feeling heavier than ever. Isabella already in kitchen, making breakfast for kids, like nothing happened. When she glances at me, there's flicker of something in her eyes. Hope, guilt, maybe even fear. We don't speak as I pour myself coffee. This isn't just hard, it's breaking me. And worst part, tiny bitter voice in back of my mind whispers that it's only gonna get worse. Following week is one of those strange stretches of time where every moment feels both endless and fleeting. Isabella's date with Robert hangs in air like storm cloud, darkening everything, but never quite breaking. We function as family on autopilot. School drop-offs, work schedules, after-dinner cleanups. But beneath it all, Tension simmers. Can't stop thinking about that night. About what she might have said to him. What he might have said to her. Were they laughing together over pasta? Did she lean in closer when he spoke? The way she used to with me. Hate myself for even wondering. On Thursday, Cameron shows up. At my office unannounced. Leans against doorway. Holding 2 cups of coffee. I figured you could use this, he says. Setting one on my desk. Glance at clock. It's not even noon. Coffee, huh? Not whiskey. Baby steps, he says. With wry grin, pulling up chair. So, lean back in seat. What brings you here? Cameron studies me for a moment, his expression softening. You look like hell. The last time we talked, and figured you probably haven't been doing much better since. Insightful, I mutter. Take sip of coffee. Have you made any decisions? He asks. Shake my head. How do you even make a decision like this? She's still Isabella. The kids love her. Hell, I still love her. Or at least I think I do. But every time I look at her, all I can see is him. Cameron leans forward, rests elbows on his knees. You're allowed to be angry, Matthew. But you're also allowed to figure out what you want. What you need. This isn't just about her anymore. What I need, I repeat bitterly. You think it's that simple? I think it's a hell of a lot simpler. Then you're making it, he says. You either find a way to live with this, or you don't. But dragging it out, that's just going to tear you apart. His words hit harder than I wanted to admit. That evening, Isabella and I sit across from each other, at dining table, after kids gone to bed. She looks tired, like weight of our situation finally starting to take its toll. I need to know how you're feeling, she says quietly. How I'm feeling, I say. Lean back in chair. I feel like my entire life has been flipped upside down. I feel betrayed. I feel like I don't even recognize the person I married anymore. How's that for a start? She flinches but doesn't look away. I deserve that, she says. But Matthew, we can't keep living like this. If you want me to end things with Robert, I will. If that's what it takes. Her offer stuns me. Study her face. Try to figure out if she's serious. And what happens then, I ask. Do you just magically fall back in love with me? Do we pretend this never happened? I don't know, she admits, voice trembling. But I do know I don't want to lose you. You should have thought of that. Before you slept with him, I say coldly. Her eyes fill with tears. But she doesn't cry. You're right. I made a mistake, Matthew. A terrible one. But I'm here, trying to fix it. Doesn't that count for something? Stare at her, anger and sadness twisting together, into something I can't name. Did it count for something? Could I even begin to forgive her? I don't know, I say finally. I don't know if I can forgive you, Isabella. I don't know if I can ever trust you again. And without trust, words hang in air between us, unfinished but heavy with implication. She nods slowly, tears spilling down her cheeks. I understand, she says softly. We sit there in silence, weight of everything unsaid, pressing down on us, like physical force. For first time realize, no matter what decision I make, life we'd once had is gone. Now all that remains is to figure out what comes next, and whether either of us can live with it. Next few days become whirlwind of avoidance. Isabella and I barely speak, outside of necessary conversations. About kids or logistics, can feel her watching me, gauging my every move. But I don't give her much to work with, trapped in my own head, replaying our last conversation, over and over. Can I forgive her? Should I? That Friday night, find myself at the Copper Room, bar I hadn't set foot in since my bachelor party. Dingy place, sticky floors, cheap whiskey. But that's exactly what I need. Sit at corner of bar, nursing third drink. When Cameron slides onto stool beside me. Didn't take you for the dramatic, drinking alone type, he says. Signals bartender for beer. Didn't take me for the, my wife cheated and asked for an open marriage. Type, I shoot back. Take sip of whiskey, Cameron winces. Fair. We sit in silence for a while. Of bad jukebox music. Laughter from rowdy group in corner, filling space between us. Finally, Cameron breaks quiet. Have you thought about what you'd do? If you said yes? Frown at him. Yes to what? The open marriage. He nods. Yeah, let's say you went along with it. What would that look like for you? Stare at my drink, amber liquid swirling, as I turn glass in hand. I don't know. can't even imagine it. What am I supposed to do? Go out and pick up someone at a bar? Join a dating app? Hire a private investigator? Just to figure out how the hell people do this? Cameron snorts. Not what I meant. I'm asking if you think it would help or just make things worse. I lean back against bar. Worse? Definitely worse. Then there's your answer, he says simply. But it's not that simple, is it? I shoot back. If I say no, that's the end of us. She'll leave. And the kids will grow up in a broken home. I don't want that, Cameron. He takes sip of his beer, expression thoughtful. You think this isn't already broken? His words hit me like punch to gut, but I don't have an answer. Next morning, wake up with headache. That has nothing to do with alcohol. Isabella in kitchen when I come downstairs, flipping pancakes, while kids argue about something in living room. She glances up as I enter, expression cautious. Morning, she says softly. Morning, I reply. Grab mug, pour myself coffee. We stand in silence, weight of everything unsaid, filling the air. Finally, she breaks it. Matthew, not now, I interrupt. Voice firm, but not unkind. The kids are right there. She nods, turning back to stove. Later that afternoon, when kids outside playing, Isabella corners me in living room. I need to know where we stand, Matthew, she says, tone trembling but resolute. I can't keep living in this limbo. Neither can you. Sigh heavily. Run hand through hair. I don't know, Isabella. I don't know if I can ever look at you the same way again. I get that, she says, steps closer. But you need to make a decision. Either we try to fix this, or what, I snap. Cut her off. You leave? Move in with Robert? Is that what you want, Isabella? No, she says, voice breaking. What I want is you, Matthew. I've always wanted you. She trails off, hands trembling at her sides. You just what? I demand. I made a mistake, she says, tears streaming down her cheeks. And I don't know how to fix it. But I'm trying, Matthew. Please believe me. I'm trying. Her words hang in air, raw and desperate. Want to believe her, but pain in my chest tells me it's not that simple. I'll think about it, I say finally. Voice heavy with exhaustion. She nods, wiping at her tears. Okay, that's all I'm asking. But as I watch her walk away, can't shake feeling that, no matter what decision I make, we're already too far gone. Following week passes in blur, each day bleeding into next. Isabella seems determined to prove she's serious about fixing things, makes my favorite dinners, cleans up around house more than usual, showers kids with attention. From outside, we might have looked like family on mend, but inside, I'm unraveling. Can't stop images of her and Robert. Every time she touches my arm, smiles at me. Part of me flinches. At work, find myself zoning out in meetings, mind looping around same questions. Was it even possible to come back from this? Could I live with knowledge of what she'd done and what she still wanted? That Friday night, sit alone in guest room, scrolling aimlessly on phone. Somehow end up on dating app. Logo bright and cheerful. Stark contrast to dark pit in stomach. As I download it, not sure what I'm doing. Maybe want to feel wanted again. To see if someone or anyone might remind me of what it felt like before all this. Before Isabella and Robert. Setting up profile is easy enough. Keep it vague. Matthew 37. Looking for someone to talk to. Maybe more. No picture, no details. Just anonymous placeholder for man trying to figure out who the hell he is anymore. Within minutes have match. Her name is Diana. Her message short and to point. Rough day? Hesitate. Thumb hovering over keyboard. This feels wrong. But isn't that point? Isabella broke rules first. If we're really doing this, open marriage thing, shouldn't I be allowed to explore too? Finally reply. Yeah, something like that. You? Next evening, Isabella approaches me after dinner. Kids are upstairs. We're alone in kitchen. Matthew, she says hesitantly. Can we talk? Set my glass of water down. Brace myself. What now? She bites her lip, hands twisting nervously. I wanted to check in, see where your head's at. Stare at her. Question hanging in air between us. She looks vulnerable, almost fragile. First time in weeks. See flicker of Isabella I used to know. I don't know where my head's at, I admit. 1 minute I want to believe we can fix this. The next I feel like I'm drowning. in everything you've done. She steps closer, voice trembling. I don't want to lose you, Matthew. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. I'll do whatever it takes. To make this work, her words should comfort me, but instead feel hollow. Will you? I ask, voice sharper than intended, because it seems to me like what you really want is to have your cake and eat it too. She flinches, eyes shining with tears. That's not fair. I've been trying, Matthew. I've been honest with you. I've followed the rules we agreed on. And yet here we are, I say bitterly. She doesn't respond, just stands there, looking at me, with mixture of pain and frustration. I don't know how to do this, I say finally. Voice dropping. I don't know how to look at you and not see him. I don't know how to trust you again. Her tears spill over, but she doesn't move to wipe them away. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry, Matthew. For a moment want to believe her, to take her in my arms, pretend everything could go back, to way it was. But deep down, no, that's not possible. I need more time, I say. Voice hollow, she nods, tears falling silently, as she turns and walks away. That night, open app again, Diana had replied. Rough day again? Tell me about it. And for first time, I do. Tell her about betrayal, open marriage proposal, confusion and pain. That won't let me go. Don't give her any names, just broad strokes of my broken life. Her response surprises me. That sounds awful, but can I be honest? It also sounds like you're holding yourself back. Maybe you need to take a risk. For once, see where it takes you. A risk, stare at her message for long time. Mind racing? For months been drowning. In Isabella's choices, her decisions, maybe it was time. I made one of my own. Thought terrifies me, but also feels like first real breath I've taken in weeks. Following morning, wake up feeling restless. Thoughts circling around Diana's message, like vulture over fresh prey. Take a risk, she said. But what kind of risk? What does that even mean? For someone in my situation, Isabella already up, bustling in kitchen, smell of coffee and scrambled eggs, wafting through house, linger in doorway. Watch her. She moves with same effortless grace I'd admired when we first started dating, back when every little thing she did felt like magic. Now all I can see is gulf between us. Morning, she says, glances over shoulder, offers tentative smile. Morning, I reply, step into kitchen, pour myself coffee, tension still there, thick and suffocating. But we've learned how to navigate it. For kids' sake, if nothing else, I thought maybe we could go out. For dinner tonight, she says, voice careful. Just the two of us. We could use the time to talk. Hesitate, unsure how to respond. Part of me wants to accept, to see if there's still something between us worth saving. But another part, the darker, angrier part, wants to refuse. I'll think about it, I say finally. Keep tone neutral. She nods, her smile faltering slightly. That afternoon, find myself messaging Diana again. What kind of risk are we talking about? Her reply comes almost instantly. Whatever feels right to you, meet someone. Have a conversation. Step outside your comfort zone. You'd be surprised what you might find. Feels like challenge. Not sure if I'm ready to accept it. But as I stare at her message, thought creeps into mind, one I can't shake. What if I did meet someone? What if I gave myself same freedom Isabella asking for? That evening, Isabella and I go to dinner. Quiet Italian restaurant, on edge of town. She's made an effort, wearing dress I hadn't seen in years, styling her hair, the way she used to. When we were younger, she looks beautiful. For brief moment, feel pang of old familiarity. We'd once shared, but then, as we sit across from each other, sipping wine, making stilted conversation, gulf between us reasserts itself. I miss this, she says suddenly, breaking silence. Us, I miss being close to you, Matthew. Stare at her, words catching me off guard. Do you? Yes, she says earnestly. Reaches across table, touches my hand. I know I've made mistakes, huge mistakes, but I still love you, and I believe we can find our way back to each other. Her touch is warm, familiar, but doesn't erase memories of her betrayal. I don't know if I can get there, I say quietly. I want to, but I don't know if I can. Her eyes fill with tears, but she nods. I understand. I do. I want us to try. Don't respond. Truth is, not sure if I have it in me to try anymore. When we get home, go straight to guest room, claiming exhaustion. Isabella doesn't protest, can see hurt in her eyes as I shut door behind me, sit on bed, pull out phone. Diana's message is still there, waiting. Let's meet, I type. Before I can stop myself, her reply comes quickly. When and where? Next evening, find myself sitting in dimly lit bar, other side of town, far enough from home that I feel safe, though guilt gnaws at me as I wait, not even sure what I'm doing here or what I hope to accomplish. When Diana walks in, recognize her immediately. From photos she'd sent earlier, she's striking. Dark hair falls in loose waves around her shoulders. Confident, easy smile. Matthew? She asks. Slides onto stool next to me. That's me, I say. Force a smile. We order drinks for next hour. Talk about nothing and everything. She tells me about her job, her failed marriage, her kids. I tell her bits and pieces of my life, careful not to reveal too much. It feels good. Easy. At some point, she leans closer, voice dropping. You're not used to this, are you? Not even a little, I admit. She smiles, her hand brushing mine. That's okay. Everyone starts somewhere. Her touch sends jolt through me. For first time in months. Feel something. Hadn't realized I'd been missing. Possibility. But as I look into her eyes, another face flashes in mind. Isabella's. And in that moment realize risk Diana had encouraged wasn't just about meeting someone new. It was about deciding who I wanted to be and what I was willing to leave behind. Leave bar shortly after, mind whirlwind of conflicting emotions. Diana had been kind, attentive and engaging. But as I drive home, her face begins to blur. In my memory, Isabella's face, however, is crystal clear. Every moment of our shared history, every fight, every laugh, every quiet evening on couch, all come rushing back. In vivid detail, when I pull into driveway, house is dark, except for porch light. Isabella must have gone to bed, though not sure if she's fallen asleep or lying awake, waiting for me to come home. Sit in car for long moment, staring at house. My sanctuary, my prison. Next morning, Isabella in kitchen. When I come downstairs, she's wearing her robe, hair still slightly mussed from sleep. Sight of her, so unguarded and familiar, hits me like punch to chest. Morning, she says softly, voice tentative. Morning, I reply. Grab mug, pour myself coffee. We stand in silence, weight of my absence. The night before, hanging between us, she doesn't ask where I'd been. I don't offer explanation. Finally, she speaks. Can we talk? Nod, gesture toward dining table. We sit across from each other, just like so many nights before. I don't want to keep doing this, she says, hands clasped tightly together. I don't want us to keep circling around each other. Pretending like everything's okay, when it's not, I don't either, I say. Set coffee down. She takes deep breath, eyes locked on mine. I know I hurt you, Matthew. I know I broke something between us, and I know I can't undo that. But I still believe we can fix this. If we're both willing to try, her words stir something in me. Flicker of hope, buried under layers of anger and pain. But that hope is fragile. Not sure if it's enough. What does fixing this even look like? To you, I ask. It means being honest, she says. It means talking to each other. Really talking. Even when it's hard. It means letting go of what happened. And focusing on what we want. Moving forward. Laugh bitterly. Letting go? Isabella, you're asking me to forget the fact that you slept with someone else? Do you have any idea how impossible that feels? Her eyes fill with tears, but she doesn't look away. I'm not asking you to forget, Matthew. I'm asking you to forgive. Because if we don't find a way to do that, this marriage is over. Her words hang in air, like challenge. Do you still want Robert? I ask bluntly. She hesitates, hands tightening on table. No, she says finally. I ended things with him. The admission catches me off guard. What? After our last fight, she says. I realized that if I kept seeing him, I'd lose you for good. And I couldn't live with that. Stare at her, searching face for any sign of deception. But all I see is sincerity and fear. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wasn't sure it would matter, she says, voice breaking. You've been so distant, Matthew. I thought maybe you'd already decided. To leave! Her words cut deep, Because in some way, she's right. I'd been preparing myself for exit, building walls to protect myself from fallout. But now, hearing her say she'd ended things, with Robert, something inside me shifts. I don't know if I can forgive you, I say finally. Her tears spill over, but she nods. I know, but I'm willing to spend the rest of my life earning that forgiveness, Matthew. If you let me, later that night, after kids are in bed, sit alone in living room, staring at flickering light of TV, Isabella's words replay in my head, over and over. She ended things with Robert. She wants to fix this. But do I? Think about Diana, about easy conversation, spark of possibility she'd offered. It's tempting, so tempting, to start fresh, with someone new. But when I picture my future, it's not Diana's face I see. It's Isabella's, with deep breath, pull out phone, open dating app. Diana sent message earlier. It was great meeting you. Let me know if you'd like to get together again. Hesitate for a moment, then type reply. I'm sorry. I can't. And just like that, delete app. If there's any chance of saving my marriage, I owe it to myself and to Isabella to give it everything I have. That night, for first time in weeks, climb into bed next to Isabella. She stirs, turns to face me in dim light. Matthew, she murmurs, voice heavy with sleep. I'm here, I say softly. Her hand reaches out, finds mine in darkness. For first time in what felt like forever, I don't pull away.